What's up, guys? It's Chaos, and today I'm going to be doing some modifications to my Beretta A400 Xcel shotgun. The modifications I'm doing, of course, are a new charging handle and a new speed latch lever from Briley. Briley actually makes some really high quality parts for shotguns. If you've never heard of them before, definitely a quality company to go with. And we're going to go ahead and start installing this stuff. Alright, so the first thing we got to do, obviously, take it out of the case. Go ahead and close that, set it aside, and disassemble this portion of the gun. Alright, so to disassemble, as I showed in my overview, just got to take this cap off, set that aside, take the fore end off, set that aside. You have to push in on the bolt face until it starts to rotate and line up with this line here on the receiver, and then you can work the charging handle out, and it comes right out like that, and then the whole thing will slide forward out of the receiver. We're actually going to install the charging handle second. I'm going to wipe off some of this excess oil that I've got on here, wipe down some of the dirt as well. Alright, so the next thing you need to do is pull out the trigger group, and that can basically be done with a punch. You want to be careful, obviously, of the finish. Okay, so there's the pin for the trigger group, and you should just be able to pull forward and down, and it should just come right out. I'm going to clean this up real quick, and then we'll get started. Alright, so the trigger group is out and set aside, and basically what you need to do is knock this pin out and then drift this one down. So I've got a small punch here. I'm going to go ahead and give that a little tap and drive that roll pin out. There it is, very tiny. Once you've knocked the roll pin out, you can take a clothespin, basically insert it into the pin here, and you want to hold pressure on this and push down until that comes out of the receiver like that. Let's see if I can get this out. Alright, there it is. So that comes out like this. That is what your factory bolt release looks like. There's actually a pin there. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and install the Briley one. Okay, so to install the Briley release, you actually need to take the paddle off the front of this with the supplied Allen key. So I'm going to do that. Just lift that right up off, and basically this portion replaces this right here. And that is just another drift pin, but remember it's under spring tension, so be careful. You can just, that just comes right out like that, and then you just release the tension like so. Okay, so now I've got the factory release off, and I'm going to go ahead and put the spring in the back of the Briley unit and basically line up the holes on here.
And that just should... Alright.
You want this kind of sticking out even on both sides, so you know, if you have to tap it, don't be afraid. I'm going to go ahead and wipe that down a little bit. My hands are quite dirty. Alright, so basically you now need to reverse the process. This will slide up into here, and this pin goes back into here. You may need to fiddle with it to get it right. Alright, so I got that pin to go in. Just going to use my punch and kind of give it a push back up into the receiver. Make sure it's good to go, and Then I'm going to take my roll pin and basically put it back in the gun. Alright, so we just get it started and give it a couple taps back into the receiver. Alright, that's about where that wants to go. So what I need to do is install the latch, the paddle as I called it earlier. Basically you just need to find the threads and get it started and tighten it down like this. There you go. Make sure it functions. Make sure it doesn't actually touch the receiver because it is not supposed to. Alright, so now that I've got the latch installed, I can go ahead and reinstall the trigger group back. Okay, so you want to put the trigger group back in, get everything lined up, and that pin should literally just tap right in, no issues. And then we can go ahead and put the bolt carrier back in. This just slides right over the end. You know, obviously things have to line up. It locks in via this tab right here. And there you have it. Okay, so now we can install our Briley charging handle. Go ahead and rotate the bolt until it lines up. You can see things fall into place. Give it a good push down in there. Make sure that spins freely. Make sure you can charge the gun. Make sure it releases with your latch. Go ahead and lock it. There, now it'll lock back with this little switch under here. Make sure that releases it. Give it a nice, you know, make sure everything is working the way you want it to work. So there you have it, boys and girls. The Briley bolt release lever and the Briley charging handle. I think that looks really, really nice on this shotgun. Thanks for watching.